Hi, my name is Paulina Mendoza, and this is my Anatomy of a Scene project. I have chosen to discuss the 2019 film Waves for this project. Waves is directed by fellow Texan Trey Edward Schultz and stars Taylor Russell as Emily, Sterling K. Brown as Ronald, Alexa Demi as Alexis, and Kelvin Harrison Jr. as Tyler. Waves follows the lives of siblings Emily and Tyler and their unexpected journey of tragedy, forgiveness, and love. Waves is essentially broken up into two acts, the first act being Tyler and the second act focusing on his younger sister Emily. For this project, I will be focusing on a scene from Act 1. In Act 1, we begin to see the unraveling of Tyler's emotional and mental well-being. We see his struggle with the growing pressure of a sports injury in high school, what that injury could mean for his future, and his tumultuous relationship with both his father and his girlfriend Alexis. Toward the end of the first act, Tyler turns to alcohol and prescription pills to cope with the growing pressure. We start to see him struggle reining in his emotions and turning to violent outbursts in the heat of emotion. I have chosen to specifically analyze the use of sound in Waves. I think one of the reasons why Waves is incredibly special is because it uses sound to not only drive the narrative, but to give us insight into the characters' feelings. During an interview, director Trey Edward Schultz said, "The music in Waves was chosen to enhance the narrative and emotional journey of the characters. Each piece of music was carefully selected to resonate with the story's themes and the character arcs. We wanted the audience to feel the music as a part of the character's experience, not just an accomplishment." The scene that I am choosing to analyze is one that I believe is the most pivotal to Tyler's story and arc. It is his arrival to the prom after party. Alexis had broken up with him and blocked him after choosing to tell her family about their unplanned pregnancy without discussing it with Tyler. At this point, you can feel Tyler's life not only unraveling, but the use of both diegetic and non-diegetic sound gives us insight into Tyler's emotion throughout the scene. Leading up to the scene of Tyler's arrival to the prom after party, Tyler has a heated confrontation with his father and stepmother. Tyler, clearly under the influence of both alcohol and prescription pills, the pressure of everything has finally reared its head and he can no longer be contained. He makes a decision to not only physically push and hurt his father, but he no longer cares about the consequences. The scene opens up with the use of diegetic and non-diegetic sound as Tyler arrives to the party. You can briefly hear the song "You Right" by They. The song is essentially trying to convey the theme of confidence and bravado and this sort of sense of invincibility, which truly parallel Tyler's mindset as he enters the party. As quickly as we were immersed with both diegetic and non-diegetic sound, we quickly go back to more of a diegetic sound. We hear the sound of Tyler walking, him opening the gate, and the sound of cicadas. In the background, we start to hear the same song, "You Right," but in this context, it's now a diegetic sound. It is the song that's playing at the party.
My mom just called me. She's talking about like a family emergency or something.
Everything's coming. You want a beer?
Yeah, sure, but yo, like,
As Tyler interacts with his friends, the diegetic sounds of the party begin to dominate more. We start to hear the music, but now it's layered with conversations. This, in turn, creates more of a sense of immersion, establishes the setting, and helps us as the audience and viewer feel as though we are also attending the party. As Tyler sees Alexis, Tyler's emotional state begins to shift. The sound design subtly lets us know with the transition. The party noises begin to become more muffled and distorted, which reflect Tyler's growing sense of anger and disconnection. The shift in the sound helps to signal to the audience the change in Tyler's psychological well-being, and it lets us as the audience understand the inner turmoil that he has in this moment. The score in this scene by Nine Inch Nails' very own Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross play an incredibly crucial role. It introduces a more haunting and suspenseful tone that really heightens the tension. The use of non-diegetic sound and music really deepen our engagement with not only Tyler's emotional journey, but the journey of the other characters in the scene as well. As they are layered and integrated, we really start to get an auditory experience as the audience. As the tension builds, the non-diegetic music intensifies, complementing the diegetic sounds and enhancing our impending conflict. The lyrics, "I gotta be above it, reflect Tyler's attempt to maintain some control. The use of no sound in this moment not only heightens the tension, but it makes us as the viewer acutely aware of Tyler's emotions. As Trey Edward Schultz said, silence can be just as powerful as sound in conveying emotion. In this moment, the lack of noise underscores Tyler's isolation and the weight of his actions. As Tyler's psychological state begins to deteriorate more, the sound editing reflects that. It reflects his disorientation, his turmoil. Everything becomes more distorted and muffled, mirroring his own disconnect from reality. What's done, in my opinion, so beautifully in this scene in particular is the sound design and the layering of both the dialogue, the diegetic sounds, and the non-diegetic score. It really adds in this immersive experience for us as the viewer, and it emphasizes and foreshadows the tragedy that's about to happen. The use of sound in the film Waves is an exceptional example of just how intricate sound design can enhance the audience experience. It creates not only an immersive experience, but draws us into the emotion and feelings of the characters while driving the narrative and contributing to the overall impact of the scene. Thank you so much for your time. My name is Paulina Mendoza, and this was my Anatomy of a Scene final project.